So I got a lot of friends are married, getting married, and to be honest with you, I find this to be pretty inconsiderate. You know, people in love have lost like concept with reality. Do they know how expensive it is to go to a wedding? I've been invited to so many weddings this year that the IRS has a lien on my Crate and Barrel account. It's like enough already, you know? I don't think that I'm gonna get married because from what I've observed, marriage has a way of making you feel like you can't have sex with other people. And this doesn't like really make sense to me. Plus, like, I just never got that gene. I never got the marriage gene. You know, when I was, you know, a little girl, I always played with Barbies. That was my idol, you know, and Barbie wasn't married with children. You know, she was single with a hot boyfriend, a house in Malibu, and a sweet Brazilian wax. What more could a girl want, you know? Who needs a husband? I'm a big fan of the Brazilian wax. For those of you guys who don't know, a Brazilian is when a woman pays like $65 to get naked on all fours and have an Asian lady accost her with a hot popsicle stick dripping in molten lava. And it's an experience. The first time I ever went to get one, I got up there, you know, you're very vulnerable in that position. You're just like, and she slaps the hot wax on me, rips it off, and then shows me the strip. She's like, "This is what your boyfriends see!" I mean, I was like, oh my God! I don't have a boyfriend! Shake it off. Yeah. What part of this procedure was actually invented by a Brazilian? You know, like, was there some Brazilian female POW who, after months of being tortured by way of hot wax to the labia, was one day like, "Holy crap! This is lasting me like 3 weeks. It's amazing."
So I gotta tell ya, I live 2,000 miles away from my mother, being from Detroit. And 2,000 miles away, it doesn't stop her from calling me on the telephone every single day. Yeah. Sometimes she calls me just to complain about how high the phone bills are. So for Christmas, I thought I'd solve this problem and buy her a computer. Yeah. So she could learn how to work the email. So now, this is great, she emails me, and then she calls me to tell me she sent me an email. It doesn't stop there. I respond, she calls me to tell me she got my response, she answers back, she calls me to tell me she sent an answer back, then keeps me on the phone for half an hour about what she wrote in the email. Basically, she's on the phone now, typing out emails to me. Finally, I reported her for spam. And bought her dial-up. Being a single gal, and even not a single gal, this is a statistic, that I read recently in a magazine I thought was very interesting. It said, this is what it said, it said 89% of all men cheat on their wives and girlfriends. And even if they have both wives and girlfriends. Can you believe that? 89%. Wait, there's more. Then it went on to say that 10% just think about it. Just thinking about it, that 10%. And it went on to say, because if you're doing your math, that leaves 1% of the men who don't cheat and don't think about it, and they're dead. And I'm hoping to meet somebody right there in that plus or minus 1%. Maybe he's here tonight, propped up in the back somewhere. Hoping for that. Thank you very much. That person over there, I love them. Anyway, So, but I've been single all my life, and I have very helpful friends. One of them said, hey, you know, why don't you buy one of those rule books on dating? You know, maybe you've been single so long, you're doing something wrong. So I went ahead, I bought that rule book, and I started reading it. Turns out I'm doing a lot wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. One of the rules was, and hey, I never knew this, one of the rules was that you should not become intimate with a man until 3 months after you date. Yeah, 3 months. Well, I've been doing that one wrong. I always thought the rule was 1 hour after you eat. And I'm not going to change that one. That's been working for me. I've been getting some good meals right there. Thank you. But I'm getting older too, and the older I get, the lazier I get. I just like to sleep, basically. That's my pastime. Relationships are work, though, and sometimes so is sex, ladies and gentlemen, as enjoyable as it can be. So I work something out that's working out for everybody involved. I've finally found out that I enjoy kinky sex. Yeah. That's right. Because I really enjoy being tied up. Because that way I can just lie there. And if I can get him to blindfold me, I can take a short nap. Here's the thing about men, they don't even notice. Long as you're there, they're happy. I wish I'd known that earlier in my life. It's a whole nother ball game. So, had a bad day at work today. I really hate my job. Well, I hate working. Pretty much right there. So I'm looking for a new job, but this is what I hate about looking for a new job. I hate the interview, the job interview. Because you see, they ask you the stupidest questions that you have to lie to answer in order to get a job that you don't really want. Now, usually I'm applying for some secretarial position, and I always get asked this question in a job interview. Very curious. So, Maria, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, certainly taking crap and schlepping copies for you people. Is that the right answer? No. Okay. Let's try again. Oh, I know. Hopefully collecting some hefty disability from some water I'll slip on in the kitchen. Do you guys have a kitchen? No? All right. Well, here's my answer, and I'm going with this one. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Porno. Yeah. Because I figure if I'm going to come to work and get screwed every day, I might as well make some real cash. You know, it pays to be honest because they hired me. But then lawyers like that answer. I hate lawyers. But I saw this curious help wanted ad in the newspaper the other day. Thought might be fun to answer. It said, female internet models wanted. Yeah. So I read the job description. And the first part of it said, typing helpful. Well, okay, I can type, fine. Second part of it said, nudity required. Well, okay, sometimes I type in the nude, fine. Now, but the third part of it said, and this is the part I found the most curious, it said, good social skills. All right, now why would you need good social skills to type over the internet in the nude? For instance, say some guy types in, "Hey, baby, you have pretty tits. Show me some snack." Probably a good social skills response would be, "Thank you. And do you mean snatch?" Now, if I was hired for this job, I'd have a little problem with the good social skills portion, you know, being a comedian and all. So say some guy types in, "Hey, baby, your left bob is bigger than your right bob." My response, "And both of them are probably bigger than your ditch." Get off the line, moron. Oh, and have a nice day.
I am happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive because I had a guy follow me to my car earlier at the grocery store. Yeah, it's never George Clooney that follows you to your car at a grocery store, is it? No, this guy had a tattoo that said, "Just do me." Yeah, no, on his face, on his face. He had about 4 teeth in his mouth. That's not an estimation, I'm rounding up from 3.5. And he had that one crazy guy eye, you know, that just gone rogue. It looked like it was being remotely controlled by a cashier at register 2. Yeah, and this guy cabbage patches his way up to me. And he says, "I had to follow you to your car because you look so good in your pants." And then he reached into his pocket, pulled out a piece of chicken and started eating it. Yeah, every girl's dream. So as I'm loading my groceries into my car going, "Gee, I wonder where they're gonna find my body eventually," he says, "Are you married?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I am, I'm married." And then he says, "What did you do that for? What about everyone else?" And I snapped. I did. I was like, "You know what? No one cared that I was single before I got married. Nobody cared. You know, where were you when I had to pay my cousin $50 to take me to the prom? Where were you then? Yeah. Where were you when I cut off all of my hair in my Annie Lennox phase and everybody called me Bill for 2 years? No, 2 years, even after it grew back. Yeah, and I have an idea. Why don't you put your chicken back in your pocket and at least offer to help me load these groceries into my car, you know, like a gentleman?" And then his eyes widened, individually, of course. And he just simply turned and walked away. And I guess that's when I realized I'm too crazy to abduct and murder.
Man, in every show there is an ebb and a flow. That man is the ebb, consider me the flow. I'm a newer comic, and I gotta tell you guys, I get put on stage a lot lately, and people like Shing, "I cannot believe you guys keep putting me on stage." Thank you. I have not had to sleep with anybody to get on stage. I haven't had to. I would never sleep with somebody for a job. I think that's disgusting. I sleep with them afterwards. It's a thank you card. I just found out, I've had a really rough year. I found out that my husband was cheating on his mistress. I knew he was cheating on me. I just couldn't believe he was cheating on her. Ridiculous, man. I got a divorce. I had to. I had the kind of marriage even Dr. Phil wouldn't try to save. He'd have been like, "Y'all are done." You know? It's like, I have a 3-year-old kid. I pray to God my kid never asks me what went wrong. I'd be like, "Well, honey, while your daddy was busy making new female friends, your mommy made a new friend. Alcohol. And if we had stayed together any longer, your entire childhood would have been." So I got divorced. I had to. You know, my kid deserves better than that. I don't, does anybody here have children? Do you guys have kids? Let me tell you something. I have been a babysitter. I've been a nanny. I've been around kids my whole life. I'm a comic now. I'm trying to write material about my kid. I have nothing to write. My child is perfect. I've been around some in my life. My 3-year-old is amazing. He cleans up after himself. He uses his manners. He uses his words. He dresses himself. He does his own hair. I know all parents say this about their kids, but I'm telling you, my kid is gay. So is yours. Yeah, you're laughing way too hard at that.
3-year-old.
Is he a boy? Is he a boy?
Girl.
Won't work. Anyway, no, but I have the most beautiful child. And you know what? People are always saying to me, they're like, Nicole, you are so happy. It's been only a year after all the that's gone down, you're so happy? And I'm like, yeah, I am. You know why I'm so happy? I've been with the same man for 11 years. After 11 years, you know what I was ready for? New. And I went straight to the top, people. I found myself the biggest, blackest brother I could find. And by the way, I just have to let you know, the joke, I wish this really were a joke. The gentleman that I was with, he let me know right away that he wasn't even attracted to white women. He actually prefers beautiful African American women, but he was a charitable man. I mean no disrespect to my ex-husband. I'm just saying that after 11 years with the same man, sex gets a little old. It becomes like a bad dance routine from the 90s, like the Macarena. You guys are like, did she just say Macarena? That is such a tired reference. Exactly. It's like, hey, Macarena, missionary style, doggy style, cowgirl, reverse cow. You just do this over and over and over again. Till somebody comes, somebody falls asleep, or somebody drops dead for boredom. So I'm sleeping around a lot, I'm not going to lie. I had to stop though. Again, I have a kid. I can't do that to my kid. I mean, I'll make him lose every Yo Mama joke contest there ever was. My poor kid will be out on the playground. Dude, your mom's so slutty. You know, my mom is a slut. You win. Here's my lunch money. It's a good thing I wasn't around for the Girls Gone Wild era. You know, my kid would be in the video store with his friends, and I'd be like on a box cover with my shirt up. Dude, your mom's so skanky. Yeah, we've already covered that. Can't do that to my kid. Here's the thing, though, is when I think about having a kid, I have had the wildest past, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not trying to brag about it. I'm just saying this is what I've done. There are so many. One thing you guys should know is that I quit drinking. I needed to. You know, my poor kid, you know, could you imagine? But, you know, I will say this. Motherhood's so much easier when you got a buzz going. It is. But I cut out on the drinking. I stopped playing around. But I will say another reason why I quit drinking is I'm looking at you pretty ladies sitting here. You're gorgeous, by the way. Look at your eyes. See, now here's the thing. Every time I drink, I think I'm gay. And I end up making out with some chick. Although you might make me reconsider. But here's the thing. But see, here's why I won't. Here's why I won't. Because I was in Ralph's with my kid, right? I'm in soccer mom mode. I'm going down the aisle. I'm like going down the aisle. And along comes this woman with her 3 kids, and we're both in soccer mom mode, and we're looking at each other. We're like, we know each other. Is that from Mommy and Me or preschool? Roxbury bathroom stall, 1993. Bald. Yeah. Had to stop that. When I finally do find a man, though, when I'm ready to finally find a man, you know, in Hollywood, the only thing I'm looking for when it comes to a man is I just want to find a man who appreciates a real woman as opposed to a little girl. Does anybody understand what I'm saying here? Yes. Do you understand? I mean, men who are interested in little girls need not apply. There's a whole different ballgame when you're dealing with women and little girls. Little girls, they're adorable, they're sweet. It has nothing to do with age, shape, or size. Goldie Hawn, little girl, cute, adorable. Angelina Jolie, woman. The biggest difference between women and little girls is in the sack. Okay, if you're having sex with a little girl, she's going to be pretty. It's going to be sexy. She'll be, you know, making poses for you. Her hair will be perfect. And when she's done, she'll probably cry, and you might want to hold her. With a woman, it's a whole different ball game. You know what? We're not sucking in our stomach. Your dick's hanging out. You obviously like something. Our hair's going to get all messed up, makeup smashed all over our face, snot dripping out of our nose. We don't care how we get there, just so long as we get there. And when we're done, don't touch us. As a matter of fact, you know what? Leave the room. Go play PlayStation. Come check back in on us in 20 minutes, make sure we're not dead. And if we're there and we're popping another one out, it just means we weren't done, and you're welcome to come back in and join the party. So I'm from Utah. You guys didn't see that one coming. I'm from Utah. Segue. Yeah, exactly. No, here's the thing about being from Utah, though. You know what? I'm not a Mormon. Not that you asked, but I'm not a Mormon. Mormons terrify me. I am terrified of the Mormons. I used to babysit families that had 15 kids, and you know, every 3 months, boom, there was another one. I was so glad when I got to Los Angeles and saw the Mexicans. Political joke there. I was just really happy. I'm going to leave you guys with this. I was so happy when I got to Los Angeles and I could finally find something to worship that means something powerful. Celebrities. I love celebrities. I was talking about Angelina Jolie. I worship that bitch. I love Angelina Jolie. I would drink tequila for her. I would. But I would never want to be her. I would never want to be that gorgeous, that rich, that famous. That bitch has got some bad karma coming her way, and she knows it too. That's why she's like, you know what? Give me that Cambodian kid, I'll adopt it. You know what? Give me the African kid. Come on, come to mama. Oh, what, now I get a baby Brad Pitt? How about I just join the UN? You guys have been fun. Thanks for letting me come up here and party for a little bit.